Mr. Binali, how are you doing today?
I am doing all right. I have not a lot of work to do. I have an exam to prepare for next week, and that's what I've been busy with mostly. And that's kind of it.
How about you, Enes? How are you doing today?
I'm doing also just fine. That like as may some of you know that I have quit my job, so I have lots of free time, and I'm using that time to come to my hometown, Ankara, to also like maybe this is the one of the first episode that we all like four of our five podcast hosts in the same city recording the episode, I guess. And I think
Mhm.
it's so nice. I hope I see you soon. So,
Even though we are technically at the
eh,
same city, we are very distant places.
definitely. And other than that, I'm just doing okay.
That's great. And Izal, how about you?
I'm also fine, thank you. I'm also back in Ankara as Enes mentioned, and yeah, that's all for me.
And finally, Elif, how about you? What's up with you?
I'm okay. The weathers are getting a little bit better. It's gray, but when I look out the window, I still see the gray sky, but at least the days are getting longer. I'm just waiting for this summer. How about you, John Dennis?
Hey, thank you, Elif. And I am having a good day too. Like my weather is also very gray. Like when I look at out the window, gray with air pollution and also rain clouds, maybe not probably pollution. But otherwise, it's a great day. It's a great day for recording. So we are. Our loyal audience will know that this isn't the type of entry we usually do, but I thought maybe we can try something a bit different today. And we can actually start with talking about what we are going to talk about so that it would be easier to. Like, because I tried to
Woohoo.
read Dr. Zhivago, the novel, and he introduces so many things and he never tells why he's introducing those things. So I thought we can maybe provide a better experience for our listeners than a Nobel winning novel. So we are gonna talk about career apps. We called it between each other. We call them career apps, but maybe that's not even the best way to describe them for an audience.
Delivery.
Delivery apps.
Oh yeah, delivery apps. That's another way of describing it. Like the type of apps that would bring you stuff.
Yeah, mainly food, I think, was the thing we first
Household
started.
items.
App doesn't bring, people bring you.
Yeah. So w- s- what do you think, Zal? What do you think about these apps and the way they market themselves?
First of all, I'm such a early adopter for any kind of app, but
Yeah.
for the delivery apps, I was there day one because I used to hate going shopping when I lived at the dorm because like I would have to carry all my groceries walking 1 kilometer or something.
Also on a like a huge hill between, I guess.
So when first Migros started doing the sanal market, their
Virtual market.
yeah, their bigger kind of delivery system. They would pick up the things you chose from the online store and they would pack them and they would bring them with a what was that type of car called? Like the
Pickup
Doblo.
car? No.
Van trade. I mean,
Yeah.
we
No,
call them
not that
trade
one.
vehicles, but probably that's not what people tell them in general. Like the type with the storage. Cars with storage.
Panel one.
Yeah. You would choose your. It's smaller than panel van, but
Mini panel one then. Sorry.
like you would choose your things from the online store and you would pick a time and they would deliver it at that time. I started by using that. Then Glovo came. Glovo was my love because as we mentioned, it's pretty much all the time. We live in Ankara, and Getir was a thing in Istanbul,
Mhm.
and
All the courier apps started in Istanbul and then comes to Ankara
yeah,
as a second place.
yes, but not Glovo. Glovo came to big cities at the same time. I think they were a Spanish company.
Mm-hmm.
They had this fun UI, and they were like, we'll bring anything to you, even the you can order from the market, or you can order from the food store, food place,
Yeah.
or you can order from the gratis. It had all of it, and you could even do like personal
Couriering services.
courier things. Yeah, and
Like
it
you
was
can give your parcel to a person and have them delivered to another place.
I think that was the original, like a pure delivery or a courier experience you can get from an app. I guess that was the like essence of it. They weren't selling
yes.
anything at all. They were selling the service itself.
Mhm.
Am I right? And unfortunately, I haven't used Glovo at all.
There's a very interesting concept. What you see is with these delivery apps, like what the type of competition you would expect from digital companies is several companies try to exist in the same field and one of them eventually becomes the winner. But with the delivery apps, you see something totally different. You see that they start from different places and then they all converge into the same large app. Like with
Yeah, with Glovo, they would go and pick up at the store, like just regular store. But with Getir, their starting model was they would have these the cars that we talked about, minivans, panel vans, the Doblos.
Yes.
Which have shelves inside or refrigerators inside. But it's so interesting that they have a like moving buffet.
And they would just like just go around the city. You would see you would see the purple cars, like, this is the Getir thing. It would also work as their advertisement. And I
Also, like
remember,
they
Enes,
didn't have.
when we went to
Hmm.
the design week one year, like the purple was everywhere. Do you remember?
Probably yes.
Yeah, and at that time, it wasn't in Ankara yet.
Mhm.
And when they came to Ankara, when they expanded their business, they changed their shipping model, I would say, and they would make these hubs around the city that motor couriers would go and pick up there, and they would come to you.
They are based in that depots, and they just
Mhm,
deliver only for you, not
mhm.
multiple. Okay, like they don't deliver multiple people in the same time period because they are delivering like 10 or 15 minutes in 10 or 15 minutes, and it's kind of they expanded their infrastructure so much during the time,
Yes,
especially in
yes,
pandemic.
and we
They're in
haven't even
everywhere.
gotten to the food delivery aspect of those
Hmm.
yet.
And it's
And
the business in delivery in Turkey has started with food delivery. I think.
mhm. Yeah, but
Am I?
before we get to that, I just want to say that when this Getir, Glovo, other stuff,
Yemek sepeti.
yeah,
Yo.
when these started to gain attraction, even the big market chains started doing this, like Migros Hemen. I don't remember what was Carrefour's called, but it just died.
Even some local supermarkets has started doing so.
it is in no way
Yes.
dead, by the way. You can still order from it.
No, the Carrefour's quick delivery thing, Carrefour's big delivery thing is still going.
Okay.
It may not make sense to our foreign listeners, But even Yunus Market, even not even all Turkish listeners won't understand this, but even
Yes,
Yunus Market
but
made some delivery service. So
yeah, but that happened during the pandemic. Like they had to boom. The Migros Hemen thing was before the pandemic.
Mhm.
Yeah, I remember we used to use Migros delivery for various shopping needs so that we wouldn't have to go out of the house.
Mhm.
And it was very easy to do that. Like it would be very easy for you to schedule a delivery. But when the pandemic started, suddenly the whole schedule was full and you couldn't order anything because everybody started using it.
so it's my time to be old again. Do you know the times that we were calling our local bakkals and ask for some cucumbers and carrots
No,
or
I don't
milk?
actually.
My local bakkal never sold vegetables. That's not a thing that you would expect from a bakkal. I mean, maybe
But
it is. I don't know.
it's also some Italian thing as well, I guess. If you are living on a upper floors and you have a small market at the lows on the street, you can you just
Lower your baskets.
with a string and a basket, you just drop it to the street level and shout out to the
I know
the
that.
person working there and asking for breads and milks and stuff. And like I did that at my aunt's home.
No,
So
I
house.
know
So
that. I did that. I didn't
that's an
call
experience
though.
though. You don't call, you
It is an
shout out.
experience. No, you shout out. You put the money in the basket and you lower it, and they put the
First form of
product.
grocery deliveries.
Oh yes, so you obviously don't have a smartphone, so you use older technologies like shouting.
Yeah. And to just talk about the food side, actually Yemek Sepeti was really old. Like I did not believe that it was founded in 2000, I think.
Oh yes,
Um,
Yemek Sepeti is very
because
old. Like
because did we make an it was it
not in
this
this
podcast
podcast.
episode, or yeah, we had a previous podcast in Turkish. If you're also interested in that, we still have all of our episodes on all of the
Not
platforms you
all
would
of our,
listen to
but
us.
some of our.
Some.
Not all of them.
What
I don't
happened?
think it
Like
exists in
not
Amazon.
all of the episodes are yeah.
We haven't edited and published all of the episodes, but like all published episodes are still there. And while doing research for that podcast, we found out that Yemek Sepeti was really old, like 2000 something, like.
Now
And
it's maybe 25 years old.
yeah, it's crazy.
So the Yemek
And
Sepeti, actually Yemek Sepeti is very similar to light bulb in that regard, because you know how Edison actually started from a single district with the street lighting and then it got on. Yemek Sepeti is similar. Yemek Sepeti started in a district and then it grew. But from district to the whole city took like 5 years or something. It was a
To
really...
be fair, wasn't the city Istanbul?
Yes, but I mean, it's a very densely populated city. But the thing is, when Yemek Sepeti started, it was very old and the concept, like, it could have failed. It could have very easily been one of those companies that tried something new and failed, even though it caught on way later. But Yemek Sepeti somehow not only survived, but actually became the type of the company that brings the concept to the broader. So it's an incredible story when you think about it. Like the past time, after it was sold to a Chinese company, I think it really lowered its quality. But when it started, it was a very visionary thing
It
to have
was.
started. Also, I want to add
Also-
one thing to the basket. In the basket, it's funny. The thing is, you have, similar to regular delivery apps, you have the thing of shouting something and somebody picking it up, bring it to you and giving you money. But you also have something similar to the van delivery of Getir. Because you would have the type of salesman that would go around the street selling vegetables, yelling, I have tomatoes and I have eggplants. And you can say eggplant salesman, give me a kilo of eggplant, and he can come, get out of his carriage, put the eggplant in the bag, and then you can exchange over the basket. So all of these technologies actually existed 50 years ago, but smartphone was the new thing to be introduced.
I mean, not.
Thank you,
not,
Izar.
Not,
And another Barış Manço song I love.
not necessarily smartphone though, because I mean we keep calling it like apps, and like that's what they are right now. But
Actually,
my 90% of my interaction with DMX was through website. I don't use it anymore. I haven't used it in years.
yeah, I specifically tried to call them products instead of ads for that reason, but I may have slipped at some time. Also, you may be surprised to hear me this much on this show. Like, I am really passionate about this. Thank you.
Evidently,
Sorry.
asking how you were before the episode really kicked you up. Yes, so that's apparently you were waiting for that. And let me tell you, Binali, you can rest assured, when it is this advanced, you would call it a web app anyway, not a website. Like a website is the type of static thing that would just give you information. If you are interacting
Web
with it,
2.0.
That's
you would be calling it a web app. So it's app that works on web infrastructure. So I'm
That's
right in
fair.
calling it apps. This is the best day of my life.
okay.
Still,
Ooh.
I wanted to talk about the Enes. I got distracted. You have Kovada Pilav Üstü near you. I wanna really try that place.
Okay.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
That's enough. That's enough, Izal, for a day.
Yeah, this is not even off the rail. This is off the charts.
That's way too
Same.
much, Izal. Apparently,
I just-
you were right in not featuring Izal in this amount.
I
You
just
would like
wanna
Izal's
say
short
though,
bursts. Binali,
I
please.
really like food. Also songs about food.
She does. Her other favorite Barış Manço song is also about a food item.
no, I didn't.
Yeah.
Yes,
Uh,
Mr. Binali.
I was gonna
Just
say.
go to our tea episode to hear me sing that song.
Oh my god.
Izal cannot be contained.
I was gonna say though, because like my experience with like delivery apps outside the food ones, I used the MX a bit for years because like it was the go-to thing to use. Because most places you could not like most places here, maybe that's not true for an audience, but right now it's easy to just like Google the place and the phone number pops up in the side, even with in most local places. But 10 years ago here that wasn't the case. So even if there was a place you liked in your neighborhood, unless you took their like little card thing to put on your fridge,
Magnets.
you didn't know their number. So you would go to MXAPT even if you didn't mind calling a place to order. But my experience with delivery apps was kind of contained in that. I didn't use any like market delivery until pandemic, because during the pandemic, not only pandemic happened, but also in middle of pandemic we moved into like even more middle of nowhere place where there were no markets across us like for kilometers. So only way you could buy things without a car was through Getir. That was like a true American experience for me. That's
Yeah,
1 year.
The place Binali lives is very weird because it is zoned like an American suburbia. Like there isn't a single commercial place for kilometers around, but all the houses have 20 floors.
That's not not the case anymore. Now I have if I look from my window I can see 3 different A101s.
Like,
But
there's so many A101s. Also, they also do the delivery thing. Go on.
Oh yes, and in their delivery they actually sell stuff that they don't sell on their stores.
that is
So
confusing.
Yeah.
This is crazy. But the thing is, it's kind of interesting because we also, I don't know if I don't know if we have said it, but in preparation for this episode, we also like watched ads over the years of these services.
Oh yeah, we did.
We haven't. Thanks for bringing it up.
It's one thing that's really interesting that stood out to me because like when you have this product, you need to sell it to people, and it's interesting to me how much the selling point of the product has changed because the early ads is very much like, oh my god, this is such like a quaint thing, this is such a like luxurious thing for you to be able to like access to, like this is something normally unattainable that we are providing to you. And in the newer ads it's like just, oh, this is just ordinary, this is like, yeah, obviously you're gonna order, obviously it's gonna come warm, like obviously we're gonna be able to do that, like this is all too easy for us kind of thing. And that's really interesting to me, especially I think, and I know a couple of you said that was your favorite, the Bülent Ersoy one, which is a very famous person here in Turkey. Like the point of that ad is uh like the people can get like the, if you have that kind of power, you can do whatever you want, and you can just call and order food however the way you want without worrying. But since you're an ordinary person, we're gonna handle that part for you. You just come to us, you know, and we're gonna provide this luxury service for you. And that was kind of interesting for me because, like, looking back at those days, you don't like we didn't really think of it that way. We just, oh, we're just ordering food, but instead of calling, we're just putting an order on the website. That was interesting to me. Which I would also add, most of the time they called you anyway. If you remember those days.
Oh yeah, because they weren't able to find your house, or there was some slight complication with the order.
Or just to confirm it. if you remember one infamous example.
Oh yes, I know the one you are referring to. The one we colloquially called the hen house order.
we were playing at the end of the session, and there were like 8 of us, I think, and we ordered so much food. The place had to call us to make sure we didn't put an extra number on the order. And the best part is when the order actually came, because normally you expect delivery to be done by a like motorcycle, but there was so much food, the guy had to come with a car and called us to come take the food because he couldn't carry all of it to the apartment.
That was a wonderful experience. Like the game wasn't very like, obviously when when a carload of food enters the table, it is difficult to go back to the game.
So we couldn't play any game that day.
Yeah, but food, it was great chicken. Like I still remember so much chicken.
No, chicken was good, but then also we raided someone on Facebook instead
Yeah,
of
but
playing the game.
that's so beside the point. We aren't gonna. Maybe a different episode. We are pulling another trick from Fatih Altaylı's book. Maybe we will one day do a memory episode, and then we will do it.
I think the main point is like that was the experience then. Like the delivery itself was like to offer to you as something that just didn't exist, and like, oh my god, look at this incredible thing. And now obviously, especially after pandemic, it's just, oh, it's just delivery.
So what about you, Elif?
Elif, what do you think about delivery apps?
I don't know.
Excellent insights.
You don't know any. You don't know delivery apps, yeah? Okay.
No, like for me, the delivery apps is I was also like Isel. I tried my hardest to not to use them for a really long time, but I got defeated.
That's not Isel at all. Isel always tries to use everything the day they come out.
No, but in this case, and yeah, like I kind of missed when I knew my local market and I could call them over the phone and have an actual human connection. But I guess it's not really possible in the big cities that much anymore anyway. So for me, it kind of turned into a little bit of an addiction of what's the word? Comfort. And yeah, that's and the prices are usually always higher in the delivery apps too, the items that you're buying or the foods that you're getting. Um so I always had a conflicting emotional relationship with the delivery apps overall. The way they treat their drivers and workers in general, how challenging it is to work in this like fast delivery promise as a human, and that can actually affect your points or whatever, because most of them introduced this star system as well for the delivery people, so you can give your points almost like an Uber, or like a, I don't know.
Like Uber Eats.
Yeah, Uber Eats has it too, but like that element affected to the delivery people too, through these apps as another feature to implement. And as we discussed before, like as the app got more complicated, got a little bit harder for me to navigate myself when I wanted to just try out some new food that I don't want to know, but I don't want to go out to a restaurant. Um, yeah, those are my general thoughts. It's just too expensive, man. Overall, it's just too expensive.
My experience is somewhat unsimilar to Elif. Like, I wouldn't go out and say I don't like interacting with people. That's sometimes not true. But the important thing is we are very used to living in a world where these services exist. And what I mean is, back at the day when these things were new, most food places did not actually put their menus online. And the type of phone conversation you would be having wouldn't be I want this and that, so send it to me. It would be what is on the menu, what is their price.
Ne var sizde abi?
Yeah, all kinds of weird interactions. And with the Yemek Sepet, even when you call them anyway, you can check the food prices and you can check what's on the thing.
I want to say something else about interaction because this is the recent anecdote I have. So, to preface, I love turnip juice.
Turnip juice is great.
I buy the 2 liter turnip juice
Fermented turnip.
yes, every week because
Also,
like,
şalgam isn't.
Whoa.
yeah.
Binali
week.
şalgam juice isn't made from turnip. It's other root vegetable.
Oh.
We generally you just call it şalgam.
Oh, I just said it because it says so in the like bottle. But okay,
Yeah, wrong.
I'm going on. Like this, I just buy one every week without like air from our local place that opened up. And the last time I went, like I think it was like Wednesday, I bought it. I'm like packaging my groceries because it's not the only thing I bought. And the cashier there asked, "Do you actually drink this much turnip juice?" And I'm like, why the
Don't
hell
judge
are
me.
you like why the hell are you perceiving me? And why the hell are you retaining this information in your head? So you know what? I actually, on a different topic, I would agree with you, but on this topic, with this recent memory, I'm gonna disagree with you. I think we can do with less human interaction with this particular
You don't want people
instance.
to judge your
I
eating
know
habits.
because it is really weird too. It is like this is the place like down the street from me that I always shop at, and it's kind of weird to think like because you don't want to think about it when you're shopping, right? When you're taking groceries or like whatever place you're shopping, you don't want to think that you're being judged for what you buy.
Yeah.
So the fact that you get the confirmation of like, oh, like you're being perceived or like you're being judged is like I don't think she meant any harm by it, but like it is a really weird spot to be put on. And like obviously
No, I
delivery apps
agree.
also do
Yeah.
this because when you go to checkout, it's like, do you want to buy this again? Do you want to do this again? Hey, we think this might go with your basket. Like that's a like there's a distance when it's just a app versus it's a little flesh and blood human being who's like, oh, this.
But
I don't
still,
know.
the couriers,
The
the ones who put the order in the the bags, they know your name. They know how often you order those things still, and they
Yeah,
may think about you, but you don't know. Yeah, I mean, you don't
yeah,
met
but
them.
you know what's the
Only the
difference?
courier, you see their face.
Those delivery couriers do not look at me while checking out and say, "Hey, we have this on sale and I have to sell this much of it. So can you please buy it?" And you don't feel bad when you say no because you don't need the thing they are selling. And this is a pretty common occurrence.
that reminded me of the time where the food delivery person came and said, "Oh, you guys moved."
Oh no!
Did that
Oh
happen?
no! Oh, that's bad.
Yeah, but it's a person, and sometimes like in our case, we usually order food for the games, and when
Mhm.
there is game like there are 10, I mean we are less crowded now, I guess, but
Mhm.
still a large number of people ordering food that these things tend to get memorable
Yeah, I know.
and
It's
they remember.
it's just such a weird thing to just drop on people, though.
Yeah, so the human connection is inevitable.
I think that's the thing Elif seeks for markets, and like what, like it creates that nostalgia. Maybe you have that with your.
Elif would have loved living in my neighborhood because everybody, wherever we go, every shop, even the bazaar
Mhm.
people, seems to recall that I went there earlier. Like
Nice.
they seem to recognize me.
Yeah, but also you're exceptionally memorable. Remember
What's
the
that
time?
supposed to mean?
Remember the
Oh
time,
no,
like
that woman is crazy. I know
no,
exactly
no,
what you are
no,
referring to. You
no.
are talking about the Societe Bazar woman that said when we came back next year, they said, "Oh, Ottililer, you came back."
That also happened, but I'm talking about the time where we went to a concert, but we were hungry, and when you enter the concert, you couldn't leave until the end of the concert. So the guy made an exception because you look exceptionally different.
That kind of sounds like an insult, but yes, that happened. I think I was wearing the shirt with the birds on, so and long hair. But anyway, delivery apps and delivery systems have this interesting place because shopping is very personal, food eating is also very personal, and you are in essence sharing this with the type of people that you don't even know that they are there, but you are in this together. It's a very personal experience that you are doing over the application. So most of the delivery apps try to act like they are your friends when they are doing ads. Like they are this heroic type of people who are trying to always be there for you and help you on their needs. They are really selling that angle on their ads. Have you noticed?
Definitely. Like,
Yes, especially
oh,
during the pandemic.
yeah, like, oh, I ran out of this. It's kind of like in Turkish context, it would be in the family dynamic when your mom is cooking and notices an ingredient is missing and then asks the kid, "Hey, can you go to the corner store and get me that?" And now that kid doesn't have to leave the house and have that, "Oh, mom, I don't want to leave" conversation. Now that phone is there and the mom can open up and quickly and happily click on the button and say, "I need
Yeah.
this." And then the guy comes
I,
in with quick smile and right there ringing the bell so fast, and the kid is still on the phone uninterrupted, and the mom can continue cooking. This is
yeah,
the
I have to add something to this. I have to add something to this. Like, I got so spoiled by delivery apps, The other day when I was in my parents' house, they sent me to get bread, and I was I it was so I was so anxious, like I couldn't buy bread, and I just kept walking. I can't get into the store. I'll just keep walking. I couldn't buy the bread.
That's not a
Ugh.
universal experience. That's most people aren't like that, but uh, most people can enter stores and buy breads. But I see where you are coming from. Like,
From home.
yeah, these apps are really like I agree with it. Even though I'm not as intensely emotional about this, I agree with Elif. They really filled some spots that would have otherwise been filled by people living in your house. Like the parcel delivery thing, I have never used, but I imagine if I needed to take something to my mother, who lives across the city now, or to Binali, who lives across the city forever, I would need to drive there myself and bring the thing, or something like that. But you can outsource that, and this really creates, it's convenient, but also it reduces your dependency on other people while living.
Yeah. In a way, it's kind of good. Like when you're an individual household, which is increasing drastically. We talked about this previous episodes as well, multiple times. People don't live together. They like, that much as in the big family households. And yeah, like, or when you are a caregiver and you cannot really leave the house, or when you don't have the doorman because you
Yes.
live in a different apartment, it's definitely convenient and helpful. Especially now this approach started to apply for more medical sectors like apothecas, and they really gets it's I think especially in those cases when you're sick alone and you need a medicine but you don't have anyone to bring medicine to you, this kind of like delivery service is really really helpful.
I
But I
don't
guess
think that.
what I really found it in general off-putting through the ads, um it's just so happy all the time, so high, almost everybody is on drug. Look, I mean, food is a type of drug, but like to the point that, oh, I ordered the burger. Now I'm going to eat this burger in front of the delivery driver at the door.
I think
Like,
it's similar experience like shop addiction in a way that
yeah,
while especially online shopping, while you when you buy something and the parcel arrives to your home, you get some satisfaction and happiness. And the
Mhm.
difference with delivery services is you get that satisfaction instantly.
I agree with Enes. In fact, I am gonna one you up. Most of these delivery service apps have this feature where you can track on map where your thing is,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
and uh, you can immediately hear who is very excited about this feature. Güzel. I once again call for you to comment on this feature.
Like yeah, like I tried to mention it. I don't remember if I was able to, but like with Yemek Sepeti back then, uh, the
Website.
uh, they would use the restaurant's own delivery person. But nowadays,
Mhm.
with Getir and Trendyol Go, you can choose to pay for it, pay for their driver to bring the food instead of the restaurant's one. So that, as I said, you would have to pay for it, but it comes with many good uh,
Benefits.
add-ons. Yeah, benefits is the right word. Like you can see where your food is on the map, or it comes it comes more it comes quickly because restaurants usually wait for a few orders to pile up, so
Which was
the delivery
mentioned in
guy
one of the
makes.
ads. The talking lahmacun.
Oh my god, you did
I-
not need to remind me of that
I
one.
don't remember that one.
You're lucky. You're lucky.
Okay.
It is the
Oh.
one that says you can't pass a whole life with the toast, right? That's that they are singing.
Only
Like
thing I
Turkish
remember is the
panini.
talking lahmacun.
It's the lahmacun is just basically like, you've been waiting in the corner, even though I'm ready, I'm slowly getting cold. But with the new feature.
Let me tell you, we, for the audience's benefit, before doing this episode, like Binali said, we watched a large number of ads for these apps. And the way we did it was everybody tried to stockpile the ads on our one of our chat servers, and then after the time was up, I watched them from back to back.
Yes.
And what happened was, I had this insane craving for lahmacun, even though there were multiple different types of food featured in the apps, in the ads. I only came out craving lahmacun after watching all the ads from back to back.
Because lahmacun is the OG ordering.
Delivery.
It
perfectly encapsulates Turkish food delivery experience, lahmacun.
Even when I was little, like we would call the lahmacun place and order, and we would have to go and pick up. That's for sure. But I think it all started with lahmacun. Do you know?
I mean,
for our audience who doesn't know what lahmacun is, it's a type of.
You're missing.
Yeah, like you should definitely try.
Explain, Elif. Explain what a lahmacun is to a foreign audience.
Yeah, it's like a thin dough, and on topping you have minced meat, ground meat, and with different spices, and
with lots of onions.
Exactly, and you can also add additional toppings and wrap it and eat it that way. Those toppings usually include more fresh onions, typically red, or you can also garnish it with some parsley, lemon, and it's or sometimes like ezme, spicy salsa mix. Yeah, it's really delicious.
Also, it's kind of color friendly if you are on diet.
Oh yeah, the calories are relatively low.
Relatively.
In a good lahmacun, you would have what Turkish people lovingly call iç yağı, which is inside fat, which is the type of fat that you would have across the like in a very well-fed lamb. You would have this fat all over the organs of the lamb. That's the type of fat they would use in a good lahmacun. So I wouldn't necessarily call it calorie friendly.
No, but it's so tasty, that fat, in a good one. You don't want to waste it. So what you do is you get 2 lahmacuns and use the second one as your plate almost. So as you wrap your lahmacun and have a bite to it, that fat slowly drips onto the second one. So it's not wasted. So this way you can enjoy the juicy fat.
Dear our vegan listeners, please don't get offended. You can just write your hate comments in our social media accounts.
And there are so many different types of lahmacun you can order depending on the region. Sizes and shapes change, like everybody.
Unless you're being ridiculous. We don't have any vegan listeners. They would have commented about it by now.
And also, there are types.
I agree with Binali. If you're a vegan listener, please comment.
It's so big. It's so big that it covers 2 plates. It's long. And some of them are
still going on about lahmacun.
And we call them
I'm starting to get a little bit
The thing
scared.
about Elif is... The thing about... Elif, let me stop you right here.
No,
the thing is...
And then
you know what?
Can also put smuck on it. which is a
Jesus
really,
Christ.
really good spice.
Okay, it
And
is
some
clear
lahmacun's
to
are
me that
crispy, and some lahmacun's are
I think
really,
Elif is
really
singing
soft,
a
but you
song
can
now.
wrap it really well.
it is
But
very
the
clear
crispy
to me
ones are
that I
so
should never
good.
ask people how they are before the episode ever again. This is clear.
And the
So
good
many
thing
monsters.
is you have to have it made in the really good oven. Like it doesn't have to be like it shouldn't be electronic one. It has to be open fire oven. And you have to have on the bottom these charcoaled a little bit of bubbles at the bottom of the dough, and you see it and it smells so
I think
good.
Janice,
But
you
it's
should cut Elif's parts and put it like in a singular in a mono voice.
No, what's
That no interaction. We should
the
make it a
sad thing
special
with the
episode
lahmacun
about
is,
this.
I am
like,
gonna
when you
edit it
have it
perfectly, don't
delivered,
worry.
A
it
note
comes
to
in this like
lahmacun.
specific brown box that is like not like a pizza box. It's a specific size for lahmacun. It's thin, it's brown, and it's
Folded.
rectangular in the long side, and
Someone
it
needs
gets
to deliver
steamy
me
in
out
there.
of this monologue.
Okay,
It's
so,
steamy in there, and the crunchiness doesn't
So
last.
I guess we know what we are eating for dinner.
You know what? I let me quickly say this. I remember playing Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines video game.
Mhm.
I think it was Bloodlines, right? The
How are you going
Bloodlines.
to connect this to?
It's
the
in the
RPG. No, I'm
Yes.
gonna connect it. Hear me out. In the game, you start in an apartment room, and in that apartment room, there is this radio. And on the radio, you can switch channels. And one of those channels, because you're a vampire, you live at night. So late night channels. There is this channel where a lady is saying suggestive things to the audience, like, "Oh, I am in my
Yes.
underwear." That is exactly what Elif sounded like for that whole lahmacun monologue. Like Elif was a late night radio program about making love to a lahmacun.
I
I
mean,
know exactly what you mean. God damn it.
And you know
if you
that
guys
I'm
want to
right.
have
You're
that kind of a
right.
content, let me know.
Oh my god.
Suggestive
We should
lahmacun
put an
content. Yes, that's
We should
Yeah,
put an explicit warning on this
Also
episode.
title.
yes. Content warning for lahmacun.
Talk,
You will crave food
Oh.
after this one.
talk
So,
acılı
yeah.
to me. Değil mi?
So yeah, delivery apps are like this. They give this I remember on our past podcast when we did the delivery apps, it was me, Izel, and Elif,
Yeah.
and maybe there was Enes too. I'm not entirely sure, but in the middle of the recording, we started looking at the website of Getir, and in the Getir's website there was this insane döner cutting scene.
I mean, next episode, Elif describes how to cut doner.
Yeah, I think this is all the stuff. Does anybody else have anything they want to add?
I was going out of topic with lahmacun. Not like I was thinking about just we were talking about it. I remember Çiçek Sepeti, which is flowers basket.
Yeah,
And,
it's
Yeah.
a good one.
and it was one of the first examples as well. Like they were.
Yeah, it was owned by
getting
Yemek
Oh, yeah, it
Sepeti
was a
at some
delivery
point,
app.
I think.
flowers.
I don't think it was owned
Flower
by Yemek
shops?
Sepeti.
No, it was totally different, but it happened to
It was completely different.
it happened to have similar names, but they were different companies.
I mean, by
Um,
it happened to have similar names, you're saying one of them completely aped the name recognition so they can have a kickstart in their stupid knockoff websites.
I don't know what they were doing. I wasn't there.
My new delivery app, Götür. Not
Good.
So yeah, that was our show. This is the type of
Inconcluded part.
yes. We are finishing with götür. Like that's the
I'm just thinking of götür bir mutluluk.
Like, I just want to make a promotional clip. Lots of lahmacun raining down And Elif de
No, you
opening,
can't. Enes, you
explaining.
Can we
can't. We
ask
tried.
ChatGPT to
You can't make
like
infinite lahmacun hills using AI. We tried.
Yeah.
No, I won't do that. I will make some what's particle?
Oh, you are gonna do
what
with
is
hand.
that called? No.
Jason.
Look, what is that called in animation on After Effects?
Should I
or in
stop
Unity?
recording, by the
Particle,
way?
yeah.
We should do
We
the
should
thing
do
with the social
yeah.
media.
Can I
So
do
if
it?
you love lahmacun,
Oh, okay. Ines wants to do it. Go for it.
I think you have done enough, Elif.
if you love lahmacun, and
Or if you suddenly found an arousal for lahmacun during the episode.
please follow us on social media, subscribe our YouTube channel, or we are on TikTok now, Instagram, Blue Sky, or what else? We have so much accounts now, and you can just write about lahmacun and how, like, you can send us the lahmacun you made.
Yeah,
Oh, let me tell you the story. When I was vegan, I tried to make a vegan lahmacun.